Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Daf Yomi Chulin Chav Bet. The Gemara has a lot of discussion about various points, and Tosfot on the end of Chav Bet Amud Bet Itzterich picks up on the topic of Safaik, doubt. And that's a tremendous topic in halacha. Safaik, the rules of Safaik, when one is in doubt. You have the rule of Safaik Doraita L'Chumra, one is in doubt about a biblical mitzvah. One must be stringent. One is in doubt about a rabbinic mitzvah. One can be lenient. Then you have the case of a Safaik Sefaika. Safaik Sefaika, what about if one has a double doubt? So there also one could be lenient, even if it's on a biblical mitzvah. Let's give some examples of a Safaik Sefaika double doubt. It could work regarding Isurim. It could work regarding a mitzvah taseh as well. So regarding Isurim, prohibitions, let's say Rav Avad Yosef and Yabia Omer has a fascinating tshuva. Sfaradim are makbid, are careful to have only glatt, halak, meat. The Ramah in the Shulchan Aruch said maybe there's room to be lenient on meat that's not halak, that has bumps on the lungs, but the Shulchan Aruch is stringent. So Ravadia 50 years ago, they asked him, I'm invited to a friend's house, and honestly, I don't know what they're serving me, and it's going to be very uncomfortable, unpleasant to start asking, what kind of meat are they serving? Is it halak or not? And he brings a fantastic approach down there. Everyone has to talk these cases over with a posek, but he said maybe you have a case of a Safaik Sefaika here. One Safaik, the person may be buying halak meat that you don't know it. He might be buying meat that is written on it, halak, glatt, where the lungs are checked and smooth. And then he says there's another suffix. Even if he's buying meat which does not have a stamp on it that's halak, it may still be considered halak. Why? Because sometimes in the hashgacha, by the shchita, they'll go ahead and they'll say that this meat is not considered halak, and they'll sell it to another hashgacha where they allow non-halak meat. And really, according to some opinions, if the meat may have been halak, it's not so black and white. So that's an example of what he says of a Safaik Sefaika, where there's a double doubt, and maybe that would allow one to go over to a friend's house, even if he doesn't know for sure they're serving him halak. This was 50 years ago into specific situations, whether that could be applied to today. One should talk it over to the post. That's an example of a Safaik Sefaika regarding a lo taseh, at least according to Rav Ovadia. Safaik Sefaika regarding an aseh. A young man has long hair, and he's putting on tefillin. So the Rebbe is thinking, do I have to give musar? Is this tefillin? Is there a problem that the long hair is considered a chatzitza, a gap, a stop between his head and his tefillin? So once again, Rav Ovadia says there might be some room to be lenient here. The Rashba says that the halacha is v'chatzitza, having something in between your body and your tefillin, that may not apply to the shel rosh, only to the shel yad. The Rashba brings down such an opinion. So that's a suffix, whether chatzitza even applies to the tefillin of the rosh. And then he says there's another question. Hair that's long, that's just part of our natural growth. And there are those that say that that's not considered chatzitza, which is part of our body. If you put a hat on, you put something else on between your tefillin, between your head and your tefillin, that might be a chatzitza. But your hair, even if it's hair that comes from one part of the head, it's brushed over, still, maybe that's not considered a chatzitza. Others argue. But once again, Rav Ovadia brings in the concept of Safaik Sefaika, and this is by mitzvah taseh. Once again, regarding psak, one must talk over with his Rav regarding long hair and tefillin, but just giving an understanding of Safaik Sefaika. The whole Tosfos, a long time, Tosfos is treating the topic of Sfeikot, of doubts. So I want to give an example of Safaik Sefaika, two examples of Safaik Sefaika, one in an aseh, positive, and in the concept of a lo taseh. Shalom.